Thanks, Steve, for that kind introduction. Before I begin my remarks, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a couple of people. Janet, please stand up. Janet and her team worked very closely with the Massachusetts Convention Center Authority to work with the city and the state to make this graduation happen. You don't know how difficult a challenge that was. So I'd like everybody to stand up and please give a round of applause to the MCCA and Janet. Thank you, Janet. Did a great job. Trustees, alumni, faculty, parents, loved ones, and distinguished guests. Whether you're joining us in person or through the live stream, I want to welcome you to the 2021 Fisher College Commencement. It's an honor to be here with you today. To the class of 2021, congratulations, you did it. Over the past year, the world has thrown its worst at you, and you've responded with your best. You've persevered through hardship. You've juggled classes, internships, jobs, and family obligations. You've taken on one of the most difficult academic challenges during one of the most trying moments in recent memory, and you've succeeded. You should be tremendously proud. In any year, graduating with a master's degree or a GPS degree would be an accomplishment. This year, it's a triumph. So enjoy this moment, celebrate, raise a glass, and say a toast. And then get ready to face the many challenges that await. You're more than ready. Today, to help you chart your path forward, I'd like to share 3 things I've learned over the course of my career that I hope will guide you in yours. The first is a lesson about crisis, but it starts with a story about billboards. I spent the early part of my career working for Seagram Liquor Company. You might know some of their brands, Seagram Gin, Seagram 7 Crown. Around 1996, I was transferred to Taiwan to manage the company's operations in the country. Soon after I arrived, 2 big things happened. First, Asia got hit by a huge financial crisis and liquor sales cratered. And second, Seagram hired a new global president to head up its liquor division. And for the first stop on his get-to-know-you tour, he decided to visit Taiwan. The timing was not ideal, but there was nothing I could do. So my team and I developed a plan for surviving the downturn, which I presented to him when he arrived. All was going well until I said I wanted to slash the marketing budget. When he heard that, he hit the roof. The last thing you want to do, he said, we're in a crisis. Everybody's going to be pulling money out of marketing. You need to put even more into advertising. I was skeptical, but he was the boss. So we doubled down. We bought magazine space and airtime. Remember, this was 1996. There was no digital or social media. And we rented as many billboards as we possibly could. Seagram was everywhere, and our competitors were nowhere to be found. The results were astounding. When the crisis passed and spending power came back, sales exploded. Before the crisis, Seagram was losing $21 million a year in Taiwan. After, we were making $21 million a year. So what's the takeaway? It's not buy more billboards. When a crisis hits, people tend to run in the same direction, away from risk, toward the familiar. Don't immediately follow them. There's usually something missing. Opportunities are most common in places where most people aren't. If everyone is going right, look left. Often, you'll discover a chance to buy low on something great. Of course, sometimes you won't. Sometimes after assessing the situation, you'll realize the smartest thing to do is exactly what everyone else is doing. But more often, I've found the opposite. Not following the crowd during a crisis is a great way to discover unexpected opportunities. Can you pass my Okay, on to the second thing I'd like to share with you today, branding. Many of you I know are knee-deep in job applications. My heart goes out to you. It's a frustrating process. This candidate gets hired and that one doesn't. And from the outside, it's hard to tell why. It's a black box. Well, let me try and shed some light. Over the course of my career, I've sat in on a lot of hiring conversations, and I've learned this. People pick their employees the same way they buy their liquor. Imagine for a moment that you're in a liquor store buying vodka for a party. You're standing in front of a wall full of bottles, hundreds of different choices stacked from floor to ceiling. How do you decide which one to grab? Well, if you're like most people, you reach for the one you recognize, the one you've heard is good, the one you trust. And obviously, we hope that one is Tito's. You don't buy the bottle, you buy the brand. And the same thing happens in the hiring room. Every one of you has a brand. Your brand is what you're good at and what you're known for. And it's the most valuable professional asset you have. 9 out of 10 times, a candidate with a strong brand beats out a candidate with a weak one. So how do you build a strong brand? It starts with figuring out your unique selling propositions. What makes you an uncommonly capable candidate? Can you speak multiple languages? Are you good with tech and people? Are you willing to move to a new city or a new country to take the job? Do you have a master's or GPS degree from an amazing college, say like Fisher? In your resume, cover letter, and interviews, emphasize your unique selling propositions, the skills and credentials that set you apart. And then show the passion behind those propositions. Talk about why you do what you do. Tell your prospective employer what you love about your industry and what excites you about the position. And be authentic. Every great brand is built on authenticity. This school's brand is a prime example of that truth. Fisher is a local college with a global reputation. That reputation has been earned in large part by students like you through your genuine commitment to excellence, equity, innovation, and service. Take those values with you from Fisher. Make them a part of your professional identity. Hiring managers won't be able to resist. So that brings me to the final thing I'd like to share with you today. A word of advice about what you do after you get that job. In the late 2000s, when I was really rocking and rolling with Patron Tequila, I was on the road 250 days a year. I had 4 different homes in 3 different states and 2 different countries. It was exciting and fulfilling and really well-paying, and it was killing me. I was putting all of my time and energy into building someone else's business. I knew I should be thinking more about my investments, about getting involved with startups or developing a side business. I knew I should be spending more time with my wife and kids. I missed a lot of birthdays, but I loved my work, so I kept going. Until one day in May of 2013, when I woke up and I said to myself, I've had it. I cannot live like this anymore, and I quit. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. If you're good at what you do, at some point, your job will become a pie-eating contest. Your reward for winning will be more pie. The more work you do, the more work there will be. If you don't intentionally prioritize, your job will become all-consuming. So set aside a portion of your day, every day, to focus on yourself and the things you care about. Spend time with your family. Develop new skills and new passions. Start projects. Invest in startups. Build something you can call your own. And do so with confidence. You're building on a rock-solid foundation. Wherever life takes you, you'll always have come from Fisher. And whatever life throws at you, you'll always have made it through this enormously challenging year. Graduates, I began my remarks by suggesting you raise a glass to this momentous achievement. Though I don't have a drink, I'd like to propose an old Irish toast. May your pockets be heavy and your heart be light. May good luck pursue you each morning and night. Congratulations, class of 2021, and good luck. Thanks for your time and attention.